Welcome to the Principal's Message, and today I'm joined by Cathy Wever, who's Director of Content Empire, and I thought we might have a conversation about all of the surveys that we did at the end of last year. Members of our community might remember that at the end of last year and the year before, we did a whole range of surveys where we were looking at stakeholders and their views about the school. And today's an opportunity to report back to our community on the outcomes of those surveys. But maybe, Cathy, to begin with, could you help our community understand who you are and what sort of work that you do?
Absolutely. Roger, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I am Director at Content Empire, and we are a digital and communications agency. We work with lots of different clients, but we're deeply entrenched, I guess, in the education space and partner with many schools and universities, and we were delighted to partner with Billanook College to help deliver and analyse the results of your online annual community survey.
And we as a school felt it was really important to have someone like you analyse the results, so sort of an independent third party.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, Roger, because in conducting any sort of survey, objectivity is crucial, and in terms of devising the survey and then analysing the results independently as a third party and providing, I suppose, objective findings is really important. Yeah.
And so members of the community might remember that a whole range of questions were asked of staff and students and parents that were departing the school with their last child finishing Year 12 and so on like that. Cathy, why do you think that it's really important that not just schools but all organisations do these sorts of things? Why is it valuable?
Well, look, I think your community would be very au fait with the survey experience because it's very widespread these days. You know, everyone from health providers to Apple to public transport to Australia Post surveys its customers and community to understand where they're doing well and where opportunities exist for improvement. And in the case of an educational organisation, it's a really valuable opportunity to get authentic feedback and to engage with your community, to listen, to validate your programs and to, I suppose, identify opportunities for improvement.
Because we've used feedback here as a really important methodology in a teaching and learning sense too, with our students to understand that, you know, feedback is a gift, it's an opportunity to get better, and I suppose feedback is all about continuous improvement, isn't it?
That's right, it's a journey, there's no end point, particularly in education. It's always evolving and changing, and you know, how is the college listening to its community and I guess taking on board that feedback, and also understanding, I guess, how it's delivering on the promise that it makes to families when they choose to enrol their son or daughter here.
Some of the key findings or the takeaways that you saw in the feedback data from those various stakeholders, what would you pick out as?
Well, as you mentioned, a range of audiences were surveyed, and I guess the first point I'd make is that the results were absolutely amazing, and any organisation would be thrilled to receive the feedback that Billanook College has received in this round of surveys. The engagement rate was very high, with 98% of your community responding. That in the first instance is incredible. Overwhelmingly, all audiences surveyed feel that Billanook College provides a very positive and caring learning environment and educational experience. There's overwhelming majority view that you do deliver on your promise of a well-rounded learning journey for students, which is at the heart of the educational experience here. Beyond that, groups identified the school's culture, the learning environment and the quality teaching as exceptional features of the college and rated those very highly.
There's a particular measure in the feedback that members of our community might not have heard a lot about, and that's the Net Promoter Score, isn't it? That sort of replaced the old model of, you know, the score from 1 to 5.
Yeah, I mean, the NPS is it's a global benchmarking tool, and it is very popular. It's used across all industries, and it's a way of, I suppose, understanding how many, what percentage of your community are actively promoting the school in this instance, or for a company it would be, you know, customers, but here it's students and families and staff. And for Billanook College, your Net Promoter Score of 37, plus 37,
Yep.
is really high. And the really pleasing thing is that it's risen in the
Yep.
past 12 months, which
Yep.
shows that, there's that positive incline, and the experience of your students, parents, staff, and your wider communities is positive and continuing to lift.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it? Different organisations, whether they be schools or businesses, promote themselves in a whole range of ways, don't they? We see ads on the TV or Facebook ads or buses or billboards, but, we know here that the greatest promotion we receive is positive word of mouth from members in our community. And
No, that's right.
whenever I talk to prospective parents that come to the school for a tour, I say to them, why are you here? How did you hear about Billanook? And they always say, well, I know someone who comes here, and they've spoken really highly of the school. So, that's something that I would say to our community that I value deeply is the positive promotion that members of our community offer to our school. It's so important. I always say that that's far more powerful than a billboard on Eastlink, for example.
No, it absolutely is. And what is wonderful about that, Roger, is that it's absolutely authentic and genuine, and it reflects, the survey reflects that what's happening in the classrooms, in the yard, in the community, through the curriculum and the programs here is absolutely outstanding. And, the experience for students is exceptional.
Yep.
Certainly, exiting Year 12 students who are finishing their schooling here, look back, and through their commentary and the way that they rank their experience at the school, they feel they've had an amazing educational experience here at Billanook.
And that's a great privilege that we have to be part of that, isn't it? Parents will see that there's a written report that Cathy has done for the school on the survey results, and in due course I'll share that with the community as well. I think it's also really important to emphasise that as a school we really, really value feedback. Not all feedback is necessarily positive, but it's all manner of feedback that helps us be the best school that we can be and provide the best education for the children in our care. So I just wanted to say to members of the community a really sincere thank you for offering that feedback, because it's part of what helps us be as good as we can be. And here we continually just strive to be the best school that we can be for every child in our care. So I really wanted to offer that sincere thank you, and I really appreciate parents and staff and students taking the time to offer that feedback. I also wanted to thank you for the work that you've done. It's been great to work with you.
Thank you. And we appreciate that opportunity. It's lovely to work with such a warm and welcoming community. And also, it's very validating to look at results like those that you've received. Not every organisation receives that positive feedback from its key stakeholders, and I think really validates the programs that you offer here.
I'm really proud to be a member of the Billanook community, and I know that as a community we are proud to be associated with the school. And so offering that feedback again is something that I really value, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone. And I hope you've enjoyed having the opportunity to talk with Cathy about the feedback we received. And I'd encourage members of our community to have a read of the report that Cathy's done. There's lots of really interesting information in there. So I hope you've enjoyed having a little bit of a look at our community surveys. And when the opportunity arises at the end of the year again to be involved, I'd really encourage everyone to do so. So thanks very much.